अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बर्हापीडं नटवरवपु कर्णयो कर्णिकारं बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च माला रन्ध्रान्वेणु रद्धरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दै वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद्गीतगीति। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्गुणदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। There is spiritual aspirants, seekers of the Supreme Lord. There is devotees of the Supreme Lord, the divine souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. As customary, we'll begin the chanting the divine name of the Lord for a few minutes, and then we will listen to the continuation of the talks we've been listening for a few nights now. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just to remind you briefly what we have discussed so far in our search for true happiness. First, we found out that we are not the body. This body belongs to us. This body is a material thing, made from 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And the body belongs to us. And whatever belongs to us cannot be us. But this body is very important. Only in the human body we can attain the ultimate aim of life: God realization, infinite happiness, divine bliss, divine love. We never have to come back in the material world and suffer. So human body is very valuable, but remember, it is also transient. At which moment we can lose it, we don't know. who are we? We are the soul Atma. Jivatma, Atma, many meanings. The soul, that which itself is conscious, and that which gives consciousness to that in which it comes in. That's who we are. Then the question came, was that what us, the knowledge that we are the soul Atma, have to do with our wanting happiness? And what does it have to do with our wanting to know God, Shri Krishna, God realization? So last time we found the answer that every part, every fraction has a natural love for the whole and wants to become one with it. All rivers naturally flow to the ocean, being a fraction of the ocean. All flames of fire naturally rises upwards, being a fraction of the sun. In the same way, the Jivatma, the individual soul, being the eternal fraction of God, Shri Krishna, we naturally love and want only God, only Shri Krishna. We also found out that another name for Shri Krishna is Anand, bliss, happiness. Whether we say happiness or we say God, Shri Krishna, these are two names for one and the same entity. God is happiness and happiness is God. So, since we are eternal fractions of God, it means we naturally love and want only God. And because God is happiness, that's why we all want only happiness. Every action we perform in the world, no matter how contradictory and how opposing, it's all for one thing only, happiness, sukh, anand. But we also found out the soul, Atma, is eternal, beginningless. Just as God is unborn, eternal, beginningless, the soul, the Atma, is also unborn, eternal, beginningless. Never had a beginning, will never have an end. So it means we have always been searching for happiness, a beginningless God. But we are yet to find even the tiniest drop of happiness even once in dream. Why? Because we have been looking in the wrong place. We have been searching in the material world. Because of our ignorance, because of identifying with the physical body, we have been searching for happiness in the material world. And what has caused us to forget who we are? Something called Maya. Because of Maya, we have turned our backs to God. There's a Vedic mantra. It says, Dvas Paruna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Briksham Parikasya Jati Tayuranya Pipalam Swadatta Nashna Nanyo Abhijakashiti. Shweta Upanishad chapter 4 verse 6. The exact translation of this Vedic mantra is given in Bhagavad Mahapurana. Exact. God, Shri Krishna is saying to Uddhava, Suparna Vetavu Sadrishau Sankhayo Yadichayayatau Kritamidau Chavrikshe Ekastayu Khadati Pippalana Manyo Niranno Pibalena Bhuya. Bhagavad Mahapurana, 11th canto, 11th chapter, 6th verse. This Vedic mantra and the translation in Bhagavad is saying, there's a tree, Briksh, ped. On the tree, there are two birds sitting. Pakshi. One bird is Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, God. And one bird is Jivatma, the individual soul, we people. The position of the two birds are like this. One bird has turned the back to the other bird. Now, one bird is eating the bitter fruits of the tree. The bird that has turned the back to the other bird is eating the bitter fruits of the tree and suffering. The other bird sitting behind sits quietly, does not disturb, sits quietly. Now, these two birds, I remember one is the Supreme Lord and one is us, the individual soul. They are sitting in our heart. In our heart, both these birds. Jivatma, the individual soul who we are, and God are sitting in our heart. Shri Krishna says in Gita, Ishvara sarva bhutana hrideshe junatishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Chapter 18 verse 61. Gita. God sits in the heart of every living being. You don't have to go anywhere to look for God. God is sitting in our heart and we don't know. So the two birds are sitting in our heart. The tree is the material world. And the fruits of the tree are the objects and people in the world. Because of ignorance, we have turned our backs to God from beginning to this. And identifying with the physical body, we are looking for happiness in the material world. Instead of getting happiness, we get pain and suffering, stress, tension, dukh, only suffering. And happiness that we are looking for is right here, right behind us. All we have to do is make a right about turn, left about turn. Happiness is right there. But from beginningless time, we haven't been able to do that because we are going in the wrong direction. So, and the reason for that is Maya. What is this Maya? We've heard a lot about something called Maya. I mentioned last night, most people when asked what is Maya, they say it's an imagination of the mind. The world is false. The Advaita philosophers, the non-dualists, they also say the world is an imagination of the mind. It is false. It's not real. But when we ask the saint Tulsidas, he says, Sudasi Raghuvir ki. No. Tulsidas, he says, no. The world is not an imagination of the mind. It is not false. It is real. The Vedas tell us the same thing. Maya tu prakritim vidyan, mayinam tu maheshvaram, tasya veva bhutaistu, vyaptam sarvamidam jagat. Shvetashvatara Upanishad chapter 4 verse 10. God is the governor of Maya. Maya belongs to God. It is the power of God. Parasa Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnanabala Kriyacha Ved. Shvetashvatara Upanishad chapter 6 verse 8. Maya is the power of God. Tasya padam bhujadhyana dustara sutara bhave. Bhagavad Mahapuran. Maya is the power of God. Shri Krishna also says in Gita, Daivi Hisha Gunamai Mahamaya Duratyaya Mame Vaye Prapadyate Maya Metantarantite. Chapter 7 verse 14 Gita. Shri Krishna says, Hey Jnani, those who have followed the path of Jnana, knowledge, Maya is not an illusion. It is a divine power. Daivi Hisha. Or Mama Maya. Meri Maya. He says Maya is a power that belongs to him. Tulsidas says, Sodasi Raghubir ki samujhay nitya sopi chutay naram kripapi nath kahu pararupi.
Maya is the Dasi, the maid servant of God. It's not an imagination of the mind. Nath jiva Tava Maya Moha So Nistarahi Tumhari hi Choha Mudha Bhed Yadyapi Krita Maya Binu Hari Jayana Koti Upaya. You can try thousands and thousands of things. Maya is not going to let go of us just by saying it's an imagination of the mind, it is false. But the Jnanis, those who follow the path of knowledge, the Advait philosophers, non-dualists, they don't accept such a thing called Maya. They said, look, we don't listen to Tulsidas' philosophy. Maya is a servant of God. We don't listen to that. If you start speaking about Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, then we will listen. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, he likens Maya to a piece of rope that is mistaken for a snake in the dark. Somebody is walking in the dark, there is a piece of rope, and he mistakes it for a snake. Snake! In the same way, we have imagined the world. Okay, Shankaracharya, where did you get the rope from? Did we imagine the rope too? He's contradicting himself. The Vedas tell us this world is made up of three things, three entities: Brahm, Jeev, Maya. God, the individual soul, and Maya. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya accepts only one entity, God, Brahma. Because as far as he is concerned, Maya doesn't exist. And the Jivatma, the individual soul, is also God. He says, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. He says, just as someone is walking in the dark and he mistakes oyster shell, seashell, for silver in the dark, and the deer mistakes the flying sand in the mid-sun of a desert to be water, that mirage, in the same way, we have become confused and form this illusion of the world in our mind. Now, after Shankaracharya, the great saint Tulsidas ji came. Hearing this philosophy of Shankaracharya, he said, my God, what is he saying? Anyhow, I'm not going to argue with him. He is a saint also, but I have something to say. So Tulsidas ji says, Rajatasi pamahu bhas jimi jatha bhanu karvari Jad primishati hu kal soi brahmana sakai kotari. Okay, Shankaracharya, if you say Maya is an illusion, Brahm. I'm not going to argue with you, but I have something to say. He says, in time, someone will recognize that this is only an oyster shell, seashell, it's not silver. You walk and you mistake this thing to be silver, the oyster shell, the seashell, but after some time, you will realize, no, it's just oyster shell, seashell. In time, the mirage of the flying sand in the midst of a desert to be water will be destroyed. You will realize this is only a mirage, it's not water. But no one. If Maya is an illusion, as you say, Shankaracharya, no one, not even Shankaracharya, can destroy this illusion by self-effort. How to destroy? We'll hear later. Now, once, there's an epic called Ramayana in Hinduism. It's a historical fact. In the age of Treta Yuga, God descended as Sri Ram, Sitaram. In India, this was in the age of Treta Yuga. So there's an epic called Ramayana. And he was banished to the forest by his father for 14 years. One day, while he was sitting in the forest in Chitrakoot, his brother was sitting, his younger brother Lakshman was sitting next to him. And he thought, this is a good occasion. Let me ask the Lord some question. Shri Krishna tells us in the Gita, Tad viripranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. If we are so fortunate to meet a true saint, a true guru, what qualifies one to be guru? Two things. Number one, jnaninaha. Jnaninaha means he has knowledge of all the scriptures. Complete knowledge. All the Vedas, all the Puranas, all the scriptures. And not only knowledge, he can remove our doubts. He can make us understand. This is the real miracle. Anybody can give lecture, read book, and give lecture like me. But to make someone understand, that's a different thing. So he has complete knowledge, plus he is able to make us understand. That is jnaninaha. First quality. Second quality, and even more important, he is tattva darshinaha. He has seen God, attained God. He has practical experience of God. He has attained the divine knowledge, divine bliss, divine vision. Just like how you are looking at me and you can see me, he is seeing God everywhere in the world. If we are so fortunate to meet someone like that, such an entity, what should we do? So Shri Krishna says, Tad virip pranipatena. First thing, you have met the true Guru. Completely surrender to him. Number one. Number two, pariprashnena. Ask him question. Not to see how much he knows or to show how much we know, but because we have a doubt, we want to know. There's a desire to know, a yearning, a longing. So ask him question. So we have to ask. God is saying, ask question, but ask from the right person. Otherwise, you'll get more confused. So pariprashnena. And number three, sevaya. Knowing him to be God personified, do his seva, serve him. He will give you God. He will give you the divine knowledge of God. So Lakshman, the younger brother of the Lord, thought, who better to ask than the Lord himself? So he decided, I'm going to ask the Lord some question. Lakshman says, my Lord, please tell me what is Maya. What is this thing called Maya? So God replied to Lakshman and said, Shri Ram said, Tehi kar bhed sunahu tum do, vidya apar avidya do. He says, Lakshman, there are two kinds of Maya. One is Vidya Maya, one is Avidya Maya. Now, in divine scriptures, we have to be very careful. These are divine words. What usually happens in the world, material people with material intellect, they take dictionary and they translate the scriptures. And so they give a material meaning to divine words. To understand divine words, we have to be divine. Tusidasji says, that great saint, Bhagavad Rasik, Rasik ki baate, Rasik bina ko samujh sakena, khag jane, khag hi ke bhakha. Khag means bird. Tusidasji says, just as a bird alone can understand the language of another bird, in the same way, only one who has realized God, a true saint, can understand what is written by another saint. In other words, to understand the scriptures, we have to be divine. This is why we have so much problem in the world. Material people read the scriptures with their material intellect and they give a material meaning. Everybody has their own interpretation. And we end up having wars in the name of religion. War, big wars. All because material man misinterprets the scripture, what God is saying. So here, two words come, vidya, avidya. Now, if we were to take a dictionary and translate this, vidya means knowledgeable, and avidya means ignorant. So it will mean that there is a knowledgeable Maya and an ignorant Maya. No. Wrong. Look, this thing called Maya has three qualities, three gunas. Aja mekam lohit shukla krishnam bahavi prajaha srijamanam swarupaha ajo heko jushamano nushete jahatenam bhukta bhogam ajonyah. Shvetashvatara chapter 4 verse 5. This Ved mantra is saying Maya has three colors. There's a white colored Maya, a red colored Maya, and a black colored Maya. White represents Sattva Gun, the mode of goodness. Red represents Rajogun, the mode of passion, ambition. And black represents Tamogun, the mode of evil, laziness, bad. So three qualities, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Shri Krishna also says in Gita, Tribhir gunamaya bhave rebhi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. Chapter 7 verse 13, Gita. The whole world is governed by three modes of Maya. Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So, out of these three qualities, remember, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Sattvagun alone, that is Vidya Maya. And Rajogun plus Tamogun combined, that is Avidya Maya. This is the meaning of Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. Now, what does Vidya Maya do? Ek rachai jag guna bas jaake Prabhu prerit nahi nij bal taake. God is saying to Lakshman, his younger brother, Vidya Maya, Sattva Guni Maya, creates the outer world. The world around us. Mountains, valleys, trees, animals, birds, human beings, oceans. That whole world we see around us is created by Vidya Maya, Sattva Guni Maya, not by itself. Prabhu prerit nahi nij bal taake. Through the inspiration of God, Maya, Vidya Maya creates the outer world. And what does Avidya Maya do? Ek dushta atisaya dukha rupa jabas jeev paro bhava kupa. Vidya Maya creates another world. The inner world of our mind, our thoughts and ideas. That Avidya Maya has made us forgotten who we are. It creates the inner world of the mind. Now, the outer world we see around us is almost insignificant when compared to the inner world of our mind. Let me explain. We all have dreams, sapna, dreams. In our dreams, we do the most fantastic things. We can jump over the highest building, fly over the ocean, and do the most extraordinary thing in our dreams. Now, the outer world, which is created by the 5 elements, Panch Mahabhut, Prithvi, Jal, Tej, Vayu, Akash, earth, water, fire, air and space, and the respective product, that world, outwardly, that world is real. Satyam Bhutamayam Jagat, Mahabharata. Now listen to why it is real. Satyad Bhutani Jatani Sthavarani Cha, Mahabharata. Because God created the outer world. Remember, God plus Maya. So God created the outer world and God is real. So the outer world we see around us, I am not imagining you, you are not imagining me. This is real. The inner world of our mind, on the other hand, that is false. Why? Because it is created by us and we in turn are governed by Avidya Maya. Now, the outer world we see around us is ever changed. It remains in one form. It never changes. While the inner world of our mind keeps changing all the time. Let me give an example. 2 men are walking and they see what it looks like to be a diamond from afar. Oh, that looks like a diamond. Both of them start running. One was faster than the other, and so he grabbed the diamond. He was extremely happy. While the other person who didn't get the diamond was extremely sad. A third person came along. He saw one person very happy, dancing, and one person very sad. He said, why are you so happy? Oh, I found this. Okay. And why are you so sad? Oh, I wasn't able to get that. It's only a stone anyhow. Why be sad? Better you didn't get it. He neither knows, the third person, he neither knows nor accepts that this is a diamond. So he finds, he who does not know nor recognizes what a diamond is, gets neither the happiness or sorrow of the diamond. It is a source of happiness to the one who knows, recognizes, and possesses the diamond. On the other hand, it is a source of sorrow to the one who knows, recognizes, but is unable to possess the diamond. Now, the diamond, that world that God has created, remains the same. It is the same. It doesn't change. So that's the outer world that is created by God. The inner world of our mind, which is false, keeps changing from person to person. To one is a source of happiness, to another a source of sorrow, to another one is neutral. Take another example. There's a woman standing somewhere, and everybody's looking at this woman. One person thinks, oh, that's my mommy. Another person thinks, oh, that's my daughter. Another person says, oh, that's my wife. Another person says, oh, that's my grandma. Another person says, oh, that's my sweetheart. So many people look at this woman and everyone has a different feeling. From this example, the woman that God created, that world is real. The feelings we have in our heart towards that woman, that world is false. Vidyanand, a direct disciple of Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, he wrote a book, Panchadarshi. And in that book, he has written that the world, the outer world created by God, is real. Nanugyanani bhidyanta makarastu na bhidyate maivam mansamayi yoshit kachidanya manomai. It is absolutely absurd to say the world is false, the outer world. Should any jnani, the people who follow the path of Gyan, tell you the world is, he keeps saying the world is false, it's an imagination of the mind, then ask him, tell me, Mr. Jnani, you must go begging for your food. In India, people take sannyas. They become Babaji. They take a stick and a kamandalu, a earthen vessel or brass. They abandon home, everything, family, home, and they go from home to home and beg. Bhiksham dehi, bhiksham dehi. Lazy people. It's a nice, easy way of life. No work, nothing. Dress in yellow clothes, orange clothes. Shave out your head, your beard, everything. Take a stick and a vessel and go from house to house and beg. And because it's a tradition in India, especially in Hinduism, to support a spiritual man, to give charity, you get great blessing, he gets everything free. So they go from home to home and beg. So, Babaji, Jnaniji, you must go begging for your food. Rice, soup, bread, roti, vegetable. Yes, I go begging. Before you became a Jnani, a Babaji, sannyasi, you used to eat food? Yes. And now that you have become a Babaji, a sannyasi, you still eat food? Yes. Now you have attained true knowledge that the world is an imagination of the mind. That ignorance you had before is gone, destroyed, isn't it? Yes, it's gone. Then why are you eating this bread? Why are you eating this soup? Why are you eating this rice? Huh? You are saying that the world is an imagination of the mind. And yet, you are making use of the world. Even that Brahma Jnani, the one who has destroyed the mind, that Jivan Mukt, one who is liberated while alive, He still makes use of the world. He breathes the air of the world. He eats the food of the world. He keeps the body which is the world. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, who is saying the world is an imagination of the mind, he wrote many books. Many books. Now, where did he get the pen, paper, and ink from? You are saying the world is an imagination of the mind, but all these things belong to the world. As far as you are concerned, the world should have disappeared. The trees, the mountains, the valleys, the ocean should have all disappeared. No. But it continues to exist, just as it did before you attained true knowledge. It is okay that you see your spirit, you see the world filled with God, while I, a material person, see it filled with matter. Because you have spiritual vision and I have material vision. But the world exists for both of us. Both of us. Now, so there are two worlds. One inner world, one outer world. One gross world, one subtle world. Out of these two worlds, the inner world of the mind is the most dangerous one. We'll hear about that. We'll chant a little bit first. Radhe 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 Shri Radhe 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 Radhe
Shri Radhe.
Oh Radhe 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 Shri Radhe 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 Radhe
Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe 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 Radhe
Shri Radhe.
Oh Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe. Shri Radhe.
Oh Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe
Radhe. Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe. Shri Radhe.
O Meri Shri Radhe Meri
Shri Radhe.
O Meri Shri Radhe Meri
Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe. Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Radhe
Radhe. Radhe. Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe 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 Radhe
Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe 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 Radhe
Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe 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 Radhe
Shri Radhe.
O Meri Shri Radhe Meri
Shri Radhe.
Meri Shri Radhe
Meri Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Radhe
Radhe. Radhe. Shri Radhe.
O Radhe 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 Shri Radhe
Radhe. 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 Shri Radhe.
राधे 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 श्री राधे राधे राधे
राधे श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे 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 राधे
श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
मेरी श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
मेरी श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
मेरी श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे 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 श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
मेरी श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
मेरी श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
ओ मेरी श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे 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 श्री राधे
ओ राधे 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 श्री राधे
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 ओ राधे 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 श्री राधे राधे राधे
राधे श्री राधे
ओ मेरी 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 श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे 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 श्री राधे
ओ राधे 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 श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे
ओ राधे 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 श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे
ओ राधे 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 श्री राधे राधे राधे
राधे श्री राधे
ओ मेरी 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 श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे राधे
राधे राधे श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे
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 राधे राधे श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे Shri Radhe.
O Meri Shri Radhe,
O Meri Shri Radhe.
O Meri Shri Radhe,
O Meri Shri Radhe.
O Meri Shri Radhe,
O Meri Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe,
Radhe Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Shri Radhe
Radhe
Radhe,
Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Shri Radhe.
Radhe 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 Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Shri Radhe.
Radha Rani ki jai.
Jai.
Alright, so there are two worlds, one inner world, one outer world. The inner world of our thoughts, our ideas, is created by the mind. And the outer world that we see around us is created by God, Maya, through the inspiration of God. Now, as I mentioned, of the two worlds, the inner world is the more dangerous one. If somehow we can destroy the inner world of the mind, if somehow we can get rid of the inner world of the mind, the outer world will no longer be dangerous for us. Bharat hi hoi naraj mad, vidhi hari har pad paya, kabahuk kaji kshi karani, kshira sindhu binusai. For a person like Bharat, Bharat was the younger brother of Sri Ram, God. In the epic, I told you there's an epic called the Ramayana, a historical incident. God descended in the age of Treta Yuga, and his father had 3 wives, Kaushilya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra. One of the wife, once Dashrath was fighting the war, and the axle of the chariot broke, and Kaikeyi was with him, and she saved him. And he promised her that he will give her 2 boons. Whenever she asks for 2 boons, he would give whatever she wanted. When God, Sri Ram, was about to be coronated as the king of Ayodhya, God inspired Kaikeyi, his stepmother, who loved him more than his own mother, to ask for the 2 boons. And she went to Dashrath, the king, and said, "You had promised me 2 boons, and today I'm going to ask you for those 2 boons." He said, "Okay, go ahead and ask." She said, "Okay, number 1, Ram should be banished to the forest for 14 years. First boon. Second boon, my son Bharat should be put on the throne instead of Ram." Dashrath, because he had promised, Raghukul riti sada chali aayi, pran na jai varu bachan na jai. That dynasty called the Raghu dynasty, it was a thing, a law, that one life should go, but the word should never go. If you make a promise, whatever you said, your life should go, but that should not become false. So Dasharatha had to hold on to that. And so Ram, the eldest son, was banished for 14 years, and Bharat was given the throne to be king. Bharat did not want the throne. To him, the throne was rightfully Ram's. Bharat went to Chitrakoot with the intention of asking Ram to come back and take the throne. But having reached there, he couldn't do it. Realizing that this was the wish of the Lord, number one. And if I am a true devotee of the Lord, what makes him happy is important, not what makes me happy. Last night we talked about love. Tat sukha sukhitvam. To be happy in the happiness of the beloved. Bhakti has to be selfless. There should be no desire for one's own happiness. That's a true devotee, a true servant. Bharat thought, if I ask Ram, had Bharat asked Ram to come back to Ayodhya, Ram had to. He cannot go against the wish of his devotee. But Bharat realized this would be wrong. It would be against the wishes of my Lord. So instead Bharat said to Sri Ram, please give me your wooden sandal. Like this we have here. It's called Charan Paduka. This represents the lotus feet of the Lord himself. And Bharat took those wooden sandals, the wooden slippers, and put on his head. And took it back to Ayodhya. And he placed those wooden sandals, Charan Paduka, on the throne. Bharat never sat on the throne. To him, this was Sri Ram himself. And every day, he would speak to those Charan Paduka and take instruction. To him, this was Ram himself. When we have the Charan Paduka of a true saint, a true Guru, and Guru is God personified, we should not think that this is only a piece of wood or some wooden sandal or some slipper. But we should have the feeling that this is the lotus feet of the Lord himself, the lotus feet of Guru himself. When we go to bow there, that feeling should be in our heart, then we will get benefit. Otherwise, it's a piece of wood. You knock your head, you're not going to get anything. Only when the feeling in the heart that this is actually the lotus feet of my Guru, the lotus feet of the Lord personified. I am bowing in the heart to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, my Lord. Then you will get the benefit. So Bharat was given the rule. But because the inner world of the mind was destroyed in Bharat, Maya was gone. Nothing in the world made he had no desire. Even if he was, the verse is saying, even if he is given the position of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv. Shri Krishna has three forms. One God. I told you, we don't have many gods in Hinduism. One supreme God. Shri Krishna. But Shri Krishna has a form called Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu has three forms. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv. As Brahma, he creates. He creates the solar system. The world. As Vishnu, he sustains that solar system, the world. And as Shiv, he destroys. Same God is not different. Three different forms of the same Lord. In one form as Brahma, he creates. In one form as Vishnu, he sustains. And in one form of Shiv, he destroys. Even if Bharat, the younger brother of Sri Ram, were given the position of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv, it would not have any effect on him. Because the inner world, Maya, was destroyed. So dangerous is the inner world of the mind. If somehow we can get rid of that, the outer world will not be any danger to us. So it is important to understand the relation of between the reality, of the inner and outer world, and the relation between the two. As I told you before, the mother of both the inner world of the mind and the outer world is Maya. And the governor of Maya is God, Shri Krishna. Mayam tu prakritim vidyan, mainam tu maheshwaram, tasya veva bhutaistu vyaptam sarvamidam jagat. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter 4, verse 10. The Vedas are saying, Shri Krishna is the governor of Maya. Maya is the power of God. Mainam tu maheshwaram. Parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate swabhaviki jnana balakriyacha. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter 6, verse 8. Many Ved mantras. All saying Maya is not an illusion, as the Jnanis say, but it's a power that belongs to God. It is His power. Shri Krishna, as I told you, also says in Gita, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metantarantite. That Maya is a power that belongs to God. And therefore no one, no Jnani, Rishi, Muni, Yogi, no one can become free from Maya by their own effort. Only when God tells Maya to go will Maya leave, because it's His power. Bhagavan Krishna Himself says in the Gita that Maya is a power that belongs to Him. Bhumira punalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakritirishtada apareyamitastvanyam prakritim biddhi me param Jiva bhuta mahabaho yairam dharyate jagat. Gita, chapter 7, verse 4 and 5. Let me give you a glimpse of how Maya governs and controls us. We are always looking for pleasure and happiness where it cannot be found. We have been told from uncountable lifetimes that the search is in vain, that there is no happiness, true happiness, to be found in any person or object in the world. Yet in spite of that, what do? We ask God for the world. 99.99% of people who go to church, the masjid, the mosque, the mandir, the temple, all places of worship, who seem to be very religious, they are praying to God. What do they pray for? The world. A good job, for health, to win the lotto, for lots of money, a handsome boy for a husband, beautiful girl for a wife, a nice house, nice motor car. They ask God for the world. They're looking for happiness in the world. The knowledge has not been able to sit in their intellect that there is no happiness to be found in any person or object in the world, that happiness will be found only in God, only in Shri Krishna, because Shri Krishna is happiness. Just as moth, there's an insect called a moth, it's attracted to fire, light. Just as moths haul themselves into the flame of fire and die, in the same way, we keep throwing ourselves into sensual pleasures, looking for happiness. In this way, we go on till crippled and cheated, we die. This is a glimpse of how Maya governs and controls us. It's the most intricate and difficult thing to understand. It's not easy to understand Maya. Once, a great devotee of God, Naraji. Narad is a Muni, Rishi, a very great spiritual being. Naraji is also counted among descendants of Sri Krishna. Once Naraji asked Sri Krishna, "Hey Sri Krishna, please show me your Maya. I want to see your Maya." Sri Krishna didn't say anything. After a few days passed, one day Sri Krishna said to Narad, "Narad, please come with me. I'm going for a walk. Let's go for a walk." So Naradji agreed. And he went with Sri Krishna for a walk. After walking for a long time through some very desolate place, suddenly Sri Krishna sat down and said, "Naradji, I am very thirsty. Please go and find some water for me. I am very thirsty. I am dying of thirst." So Naradji agreed and went in search of water. After walking for a while, he came to a village. He went to the first house and knocked on the door. It was opened by a most beautiful woman. Upon seeing that woman, Naradji began talking to her. He forgot all about his Lord, was thirsty and even dying of thirst that he needed water. He got so attracted to this beautiful woman. He stayed the whole day, and the following days, eventually, he asked her father for her hand in marriage. The father agreed, and they got married. In time, the girl's father died, and Naradji inherited all the land, cattle, etc. He lived what seemed to be a very happy life with his wife, children, fields, cattle, etc. 12 years passed like this. 12 years. One day, a great flood came to that village. Great flood. Houses and trees and animals were swept away by the raging current. Naradji had to escape that flood. With one hand, he held on to his wife. Another hand, he held on to two of his children. A third child, he placed on his shoulder. In this way, Naradji attempted to cross that great flood. After walking a few steps, the two children that he was holding on with one of his hand, they were snatched away by the raging current and swept away. Naradji uttered a cry of despair and rushed forth to save them. But in so doing, the child on the shoulder fell into the water, and he too was swept away by the raging current. Finally, his wife, whom he clasped with all his might, she too was swept away by the raging current. And he himself was thrown on the bank of the river, wailing and weeping in bitter lamentation, crying. From behind him came a very soft and sweet voice. "Narad, my son, O Narad, where is the water? I have been waiting for you for 1 hour, Narad, 1 hour. 1 hour? 12 years had passed in Naradji's mind. Naradji no longer needed any explanation of Maya. This Maya is no ordinary entity, but one of the main powers of God, and is eternal and beginningless like God himself. God is called Aj in the Vedas. Aj means unborn, eternal, beginningless. And Maya is called Aja. Aja mekam lohit shukla krishnam bhavi praja. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter 4, verse 5. Aja means unborn, feminine of Aj. Aja. It means unborn, eternal, beginningless. So Maya is also unborn, eternal, beginningless, just like God. And it's one of his main powers. The Bhagavad says about this Maya, Yatra yena yato yasya yasmai yadyadyata yada Syadinam Bhagavan Sakshat Pradhana Purusheshwara. Bhagavad. It is the same Maya that creates the world. That world we see around. That vast world, uncountable solar system. This vast universe, infinite, uncountable solar systems, uncountable galaxies is created by Maya. But Maya has been told to be jar, inert, non-conscious. Just like this glass is non-conscious, inert, jar, inert, non-conscious, lifeless. In the same way, Maya is non-conscious. Then how could Maya create the world? The scriptures tell us, Jasu satyata te jar maya nachinati iva sahita sahaya. Maya acquires the power of being a conscious entity through the power of God, inspiration of God. For example, an axe. Axe is used for cutting down the tree. But can the axe cut the tree by itself? If you were to see an axe cutting a tree by itself, what would you do? Whoo! Ghost! You run far from there. So the hand gives the power to the axe, and the axe cuts the tree. The axe cannot cut the tree. Hand gives the power to the axe, and then the axe cuts the tree. If the hand minuses the power, the axe again becomes inert, non-conscious, cannot do anything. In the same way, God empowers Maya. God plus Maya, it creates the world. Maya cannot do anything by itself. Sab kar param prakashak joi Ram anadi avadhapati soi. Maya cannot do anything by itself. It is just inert, non-conscious. God plus Maya creates the world. Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kau jagat viparivartate. Gita chapter 9 verse 10. The scriptures give a description of the relation like this. Maya and God. The relation of Maya and God. There's a woman who is blind. She can't see. Blind. And there's a man whose legs are useless. He can't walk. So the woman says to the man, you climb on my shoulder. You climb and sit on my shoulder. And you direct me. You have eyes. I don't. So you climb on my shoulder, sit on my shoulder. You direct me. I will walk. And we will both reach our destination. In the same way, God empowers Maya to work, and the result is creation. So God plus Maya creates the world. But this Maya, so Maya is not an illusion. It's the power of God, and no one can become free from Maya by their own effort because it's God's power. How are we going to become free from Maya? Remember the Ved mantra told us, Tameva viditvati mityumeti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya. Shvetashvataro Upanishad, chapter 3, verse 8. We are all looking for happiness. True everlasting happiness, being fraction of happiness, God, we all want only happiness. And we will attain that happiness only when we attain God. And this Ved mantra is saying, only by knowing God can the individual soul become free from Maya. There is no other way. We have to know God. Maya is the reason for our ignorance. Maya is the reason that we keep rotating in 8.4 million forms of life. We come in the world again and again and suffer. We go to heaven, to hell. Uncountable time. All because of Maya. How are we going to become free from Maya? We have to know God. How we are going to know God? How can we know Sri Krishna? We'll get the answer to that question in the final lecture tomorrow. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai. Radha Rani ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.